Good morning, room finders. It's Wednesday, September 29th. I'm Katie, and this rotation's topic is our nerd timeline. Now, the timeline I'm about to show you is by no means comprehensive, but it does hit kind of the milestone nerd moments in my life. So to start with, I was born into a nerd household. My parents are nerds. I was destined by either genetics or conditioning to be a nerd. It was just my destiny. So I was kind of raised on the classics, Star Trek, Star Wars. I watched a lot of The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, and Voyager. Not so much the original series, and definitely not Enterprise. I mean, come on, the theme song had lyrics. In second grade, I was introduced to American Girls, and that was my first real major obsession. And that lasted pretty much all the way through elementary school. I actually got into pretty much all female-centric historical fiction. I really loved Little Women and Anne of Green Gables and all of that stuff. If I were able to understand Jane Austen, I probably really would have enjoyed Jane Austen-y things at that point in my life, even though right now Jane Austen makes me want to gouge my eyes out. In middle school, the internet finally got to the point where it was actually, usable instead of totally awful like it was in the beginning. And so I really got into KiwiBox, which was kind of a blogging, social networking, everything all in one site, because there weren't so many different things out at that point. And then also DeviantArt. I got my DeviantArt profile back then. I still have the same DeviantArt profile that I did at that point. So the username is sort of embarrassing. So I guess that's when you could say I really got into this whole internet thing. Then in high school, my nerdy obsessions really hit full swing. That's when I discovered Lord of the Rings. It was when the movies were first coming out, and I watched the first movie and was completely unimpressed, which is sort of funny now because it's my favorite of the three. And then I watched the second movie and was instantly obsessed with it. I would just spend my days Googling Lord of the Rings. And that's the point where I discovered fandom, which is probably a pivotal moment in my nerdy history. Yeah, Lord of the Rings, it's still my favorite thing in the whole world. It will probably always be my favorite thing in the whole world. It's just so good. Then we move into end of high school, beginning of college, and this is all pretty internet-centric. I got my second blog, I guess, on Zanga, which was the site that everyone joined because they didn't want to pay for LiveJournal, and now it's totally awful. And I still have a blog over there. I think I've been on there for something like 8 years. It's ridiculous. I joined YouTube in the beginning of 2006, and it's taken me until Room Fighters to start making videos on it, but I've had my account since then. And I finally got a LiveJournal account because it was free. And then we have Stargate. Now, I'd watched Stargate for a really long time, SG-1, the first series, from the beginning of high school, I think. But it wasn't until the last couple of years that I really got into it, when I started watching Stargate Atlantis, and then it became an obsession that at this point rivals with Lord of the Rings. Last month I went up to Chicago to go to a Stargate convention, and that was my very first, nerd convention, and it was a great experience, and it was totally geeky and totally awesome and so much fun, and I'm so happy that I went. And that brings us to now, where I'm doing Room Fighters and Book Fighters and all of these other totally nerdy things that I love so much. And I'm probably nerdier now than I ever have been at any other point in my life, but I'm totally fine with that. I'm happy with my nerdiness, and I think that's the moral of the story, if YouTube videos can have morals, is that, it's not hip to be a nerd, but you get to actually love things, and you get to meet so many other made of awesome people that actually love things too, and you should just be out loud and proud about your nerdiness, because the people who are bothered by it, you don't want to be friends with anyway, and the people that like you for it are going to be the more genuine, awesome people that you should want to associate yourself with. So that's all I have for you today. Best wishes, and I'll see you at the after party.